Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. As you can see today, we're talking about this beautiful Voge 500RR. If I'm not mistaken, it's called RR500S, but it's a little bit too much for me to memorize, so I'm just gonna call it 500RR. I decided to place this beautiful bike next to its big brother 660. So as you can see, this bike is a little bit smaller, the wheelbase is shorter. I would argue that 660 looks a little better, but one thing I like about this Voge is that the design is unique. So it's not like QG Motor, it doesn't try to copy anybody. When I look at this machine in person, it doesn't look that bad. Let's talk about specifications. The heart of the beast this time is this Inline 4 engine, which puts out 77 horsepower and 47 Nm of torque. So it's pretty powerful. Compression ratio is 12:1. The carb weight of this machine is 192 kilograms, which is not too bad. It's lighter than CF Moto 500 Voom, but it will be heavier than Jansuya, it will be much heavier than Cove, and it will be even heavier than upcoming QG Motor SRK 421. And speaking about different details which contribute to this weight, we have this steel frame, but we have an aluminum swing arm over here. This machine is pretty powerful for what it is, and once you go fast, you need to stop well. This time we have these dual-sided discs, which are supposedly 300 millimeters wide, and we have 4-piston Nissan calipers up front. We're gonna try them out a little bit later. Over here we have a single disc with Nissan calipers. I'm not sure, 1-piston caliper, 2-piston calipers, I don't know. Let's check the sprocket. Alright, so the sprocket this time isn't too small. I don't know, it's like what, 42? Yeah, it's 43 tooth sprocket. We have dual channel ABS, we have traction control, we have 2 power modes, normal and sport, and we have this button over here which is supposed to change the sound. Yeah, it's a little bit louder. I don't know whether you can hear it or not. Over here we have, I feel like it's 5-inch TFT dash. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we can turn traction control on and off. Mode button, which I like. Oh, by the way, we have launch control button. Do I think that this bike's supposed to have this launch control? I don't know. It's pretty powerful, right? But not too powerful. Oh, by the way, speaking about suspension, this time the suspension is not adjustable. So we'll see how it feels. 15 liters tank capacity, and we have 795 millimeter seat height. Yeah, I guess I have covered everything. Yeah, we have the soft limiter in neutral. Well, let me get on the bike. First gear. Ooh, now we're talking, bro. All right, let's go. Oh, it's so smooth. Well, I would say that the power kicks in after 10,000 RPMs, so you have to keep it up all the time. Bottom end torque is super smooth. I would say weak, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're a beginner. I feel like it'll be very easy to manage. And brakes aren't bad at all. Huh. U-turn. Well, it sounds amazing, but in this regard, every single Inline 4 would sound pretty much the same. this must have a quick shifter. I feel like only up. Let's check it out. Yeah, we do have. And it worked pretty well. Okay, U-turn, easy peasy. It's like twisties. Well, it's pretty easy to maneuver. Would I say it's super flickable? No, it's not super flickable. You do feel like the bike does have an aluminum frame. But for city riding, I would say it's a very sweet spot. So this machine is very comfortable, pretty easy to manage. The throttle response is great. The power is super linear. The sound is amazing. What else do you need? Ooh. Yeah. I already forgotten how fun it is to ride those Inline 4. As I've said, on some Inline 4s, let's say on Gen Xue, I really loved Gen Xue. It was a very beautiful motorcycle, it had so much to offer. The only thing I didn't like is that the throttle response was a little inconsistent once you were decelerating. On this bike, I don't know guys, I feel like deceleration feels a little bit more pleasant. And you always ask me about Chinese reliability. Dude, honestly, I feel like Voge is one of the most reliable Chinese brands. And it's pretty funny because it's not the most popular Chinese brand, but reliability-wise, most people comment that their quality is pretty good. No buzzing, no vibrations. Suspension feels absolutely awesome, by the way. Again, we don't have an adjustable suspension, so maybe I just got lucky. Maybe for my weight, this suspension is very suitable. It strikes this balance between being sporty and comfortable. I like it. Yeah, guys, I really like to make U-turns on this bike just because of the throttle response. It's so freaking linear, so smooth, so predictable. Something happened once we got to 10,000 RPMs. Maybe we have something like a limiter because the bike is brand new, I don't know. Okay, radius of turning is okay. But the sound is really good. Okay, let's get to 10,000 plus. Yeah, did you see that? So, once we get to 10,000 RPMs, this is exactly where bike starts gaining speed and feels powerful. Once we get to 10,000 RPMs, there's a limiter. We had similar limiter on Zontis 703. But on Zontis, we had it at 6,000 RPMs, and on Voge, it's at 10,000 RPMs. Well, I feel like it's a good thing because this way, if you, let's say, purchase second-hand motorcycle, you know that the guy, the first owner, did not neglect break-in period, right? Because he did not have any choice. Yeah, a little one. Brakes ain't no bad. Do I think that these brakes are better than on Voom 500? I would say they're a little bit more predictable, but they might be a little less powerful. And I would say that on Cove, for 50RR, brakes would be a little bit more powerful as well. This time will not measure 0 to 100 kilometers per hour acceleration, but it's supposed to be at about 4 seconds, maybe 4.3 seconds. And the top speed is 220 kilometers per hour. All right, guys, let's try to accelerate nonetheless and stop as fast as we can. All right, ready? All right. Well, not bad. Acceleration is not preposterous, it's not very fast. However, it's still pretty good. It would definitely remind you of Kawasaki ZX4. Actually, weight-wise and power-wise, it's very similar, right? Oh, we did a stop it. Did you see that, dude? Not bad. All right, start. Voge. Double RR500S. The dash doesn't look bad. Let's check the menu. Enter. Ooh, everything is in Chinese. Oh yeah, you see? We have this option of turning ABS off. Well, I respect it a lot. We still have very decent level of adjustability. We can turn traction control on and off. We have mode button. We have launch button. So it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let's start the engine again. First gear. Let's check the gearbox. Second gear. Third gear. Fourth. Upshifting is pretty smooth as well. So the quick shifter works well. The gearbox works well as well. No complaints whatsoever. By the way, guys, I really like the cockpit of this Voge. It looks pretty good and it's easy to use. It's pretty intuitive, which I like a lot. You don't have to spend much time understanding what's going on. Let's check the suspension. There was a bump. Well, it's sporty but still very comfortable. I like it. Boom. No problem. Yeah, guys, it's a great city bike. Again, if you want to ride in twisties, it'll be doing the job pretty well. If you want to go on a track, no problem. But ergonomics-wise, it will not be uncomfortable. So, if you predominantly ride in a city, this might be a bike. Do you like it more than Cove? Cove would be more aggressive. Jiangxia would be way more aggressive. These two bikes would be way more sport-oriented, but simultaneously, I would say that these bikes, they are way sportier, so they would be for people who prefer performance over comfort. And this bike would be somewhere in the middle. So you can still hit the track, you can go in twisties, but it will be way more comfortable riding in the city. But you know, you can rev it up all the way up to 15,000 RPMs. Not now, but later. And you can practically leave it in the first gear all the time. And again, it's still plenty maneuverable. It doesn't feel heavy at all. You can maneuver around, you can do whatever you want. Pretty fun. And the sound is amazing. Ooh, that was close. Trail braking feels very good. Yeah, guys, as you can see, we have people, cars, so we're not gonna go hard. But it's surprisingly fun to ride. The only thing I don't like about this bike is that actually, even though it does everything really good, it doesn't have an outstanding feature. Let's say Jiangxia 500, right? That bike has so many different levels of adjustability. That bike is a true sports bike, right? And it's super fast. It's the most powerful bike in the class. Cove 450RR would have an aluminum frame, and again, crazy levels of adjustability. It will be the lightest, and I would argue that Cove and Jiangxia, these two sound the best. As we know, CF Moto has the most unique design, and this bike does everything super well. So we have pretty decent technology, we have pretty alright weight, and we have very good power output. But simultaneously, there's not a single thing which this bike does better than those motorcycles I've mentioned. Well, maybe the quality of this bike is outstanding. When I look at this bike, it looks, as I said, some people say that this motorcycle is ugly. I didn't like it at all, but then once I saw it in person, I'll tell you that in person it does look much better. By the way, we have this ram air system, which is pretty cool, but again, some other bikes have that as well. The seat looks very, very luxury. And look at this little rubber thing for your private area. Actually, I really like it. You see, Voge cares about you. When you look at those little tiny details, the bike looks very solid. This exhaust looks pretty sturdy, pretty rugged, pretty good. Again, aluminum swing arm looks very good. This beautiful red monoshock, which is probably adjustable actually. We have adjustable levers, by the way. If you need something reliable, something which looks like this, which has pretty decent technology, which doesn't try to jump over its head, but does everything well enough, this is your option. One last thing, guys, is that this motorcycle is maybe 31 or 32,000 RMB. The reason why I say maybe is because the price is unknown still. So you can actually order this bike, but I feel like it's still not available if you want to get one. Nice motorcycle, I like it a lot. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and as always, I'll see you in my next videos. Bye bye everybody, take care.